Thanks for watching Film Buff, really, honestly. It's fucking great. Alright.
Oh, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is Film Buff. Alright, man. Moving on to episode 6. Coming right in from episode 5. Amazing episode. I absolutely just love that episode. So let's see how this one plays out. Before I go any further, I need to thank all the amazing patrons. Thank you for your amazing support. Thank you for sticking around. Much respect. I hope you're enjoying the early access stuff and the full length. Super happy I can offer the full length. And again, a reminder to anyone else, if you would like early access or you would like to check out the full episode reaction, no cuts at all, check out my Patreon. But yeah, like I said, last episode, incredible. At the end there, the scouts showed up to the rescue. And Ymir, I don't know, it's tough to say if she's dead or if she passed out. I'm hoping she just passed out. But yeah, that amazing moment. Krista finally tells us her name. Turns out it was the episode title, Historia. Historia. Okay, so moving on to episode 6. Is that right? That's popped up a lot, man. Bertolt recently said it. Annie said it in season 1. Oh, she's alive. Okay, good.
ユミルのやつは一体どういう状態なんですか？
右側の手足が食いちぎられ、内臓はスクランブルエッグにされちまったようだ。
Oh.
普通なら死んでる。
Who's this guy? Define. Yeah, define normal.
本名はヒストリアレイスって言うんだって？
Race?
はい、そうです。
レイスってあの貴族家の？
There it is. She is.
そう。
But illegitimate, apparently.
よろしくね、ヒストリ
はい。
大丈夫かライナー。
It's gotta be healed by now, if indeed he is the
巨人に腕を噛み砕かれた。
the armored.
本当に参った。
お前ほど強くてもそうなっちまうんだな。
何言ってんだ。こんなのもう2回目だぞ。なあ、アルミ。一度は巨人の手の中にすっぽり収まっちまったこともあるんだ。
Yeah, he remembers, bro. I remember.
あの時。
すでにもう2回も死にかけた。このペースじゃあの世まであっという間だ。自分で選んだ道だが、兵士をやるってのはどうも。体より先に心が削られるみてえだ。
ハンネスさん。
ア。中東兵団先遣隊だ。穴の位置を知らせに来たんだ。
Yeah, he can finally tell him there is no hole.
穴がどこにもない。
Got right to the point.
探し回ったが、道中で巨人とも出くわさなかったが。
でも、巨人は実際に壁の内側に出てるんだよ。
ちゃんと見たのか。まだ酒が残ってんじゃねえのか。
Come on, give him a break, Aaron.
お前らなんでこんなところにいるんだ。
Oh. I mean, the mission was to plug the hole, right? But the hole's...
壁に穴がないのなら仕方がない。一旦トロストクで。
He makes a good point. This is the first time the whole squad has been in the same place, except Levi and
とにかく
Smith.
まだ気を抜くなよ。
エレン、ちょっといいか。話があるんだが。
なんだ。
俺たちは5年前、壁を破壊して人類への攻撃を始めた。
まさか。ついに地下を掘る巨人が。
Just like that, he just drops
大
it.
変だ。
そうなると位置を
Holy
特定する
shit.
のは困難ですね。
俺が鎧の巨人で、こいつが超大型巨人で。
今はとにかく。
It is
安
Bertolt.
全に運ぶことを考えよう。
馬を出そうにも巨人がいますからね。何言ってんだお前。
何を言っているんだ。
Yeah, is Reiner right in the head?
目
Like,
的はこの人類すべてに消えてもらうことだったんだ。だが、そうする必要はなくなった。エレン、
お前が俺たちと一緒に来てくれるなら、俺たちはもう壁を壊したりしなくていいんだ。わかるだろ？いや、待って。全然わかんねえぞ。だから、俺たちと一緒に来てくれる。
Bertol's absolutely rattled right now. He just dropped it.
急な話ですまんが、今からだ。今から？どこに行くんだよ。そりゃ言えん。だが、まあ、俺たちの故郷ってやつだな。
The same place Annie was trying to take Eren?
君たち104機の中に2名ほど彼女と同じ地域の出身者がいるようなんだ。その2人はライナー・ブラウンとベルトルト・フーバー。2人は先の壁外調査の時、誤った作戦指導書によってエレンが右翼側にいると知らされていたグループに所属している。
Jeez, they've known this whole time. Or suspected them at least.
味方の巨人が出現したのも右翼側でした。
いや、でも動機としてはその疑いは低いと思います。無口なベルトルトは俺
Just like
ライナーは俺たちの兄貴みたいなやつで、
yeah.
人を騙せるほど器用じゃん。
See, that part's true.
ライナーは逃げられたんだけど兄は急に方向転換して
Yeah, he told her.
ライナーがエレンの場所を気にしてるそぶ
Yes, he did. On horseback, he kept asking.
じゃあエレンはどこにいるってんだ。
See, you can see Armin. It's, you know, the gears are spinning. He's putting it together.
エレンの場所の話をしたのはライナーにそのことを聞かれたからでした。それにあの時女型の巨人が凝視してた手のひらに刃で文字を刻むことができたかもしれない。ライナーなら
That's how he told her.
もちろんアニ・レオンハートの存在には一切触れるな。彼らが兄の同士があってもなくてもうまく誘導して地下深く幽閉する必要がある。
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Good luck.
分かったね。
お前さ、疲れてんだよ。
It doesn't seem right, man. He just
そうなってもおかしくないくらい大変だったんだろう。ライナーは疲れているんだ。
look at him, man. He's not right. Something's up. He's going a bit loopy right now, man.
そうか。その通りだ。
Oh shit.
何を考えてるんだ俺は。本当におかしくなっちまったのか。
とにかく行くぞ。
そうか。きっとここに長く居すぎてしまったんだな。バカな奴らに囲まれて3年も暮らしたせいだ。俺たちはガキで何一つ知らなかった。
Just like Annie, they were kids.
こんな奴らがいるなんて知らずにいれば俺はこんな半端な
This is tough to watch,
クソ
man.
野郎にならずに済んだのに。
I really do like Reiner, so this is really difficult.
俺には何が正しいことなのかわからん。
Oh shit.
ただ俺のすべきことは自分のした行いや選択に対し戦士として最後まで責任を果たすことだ。ライダー、やるんだな。今ここで。勝負は今ここで決める。
His arm's gone.
ベルトルト。
see Bertolt. Look at that animation. Oh, he wants a mirror. Oh. This is insane, man. I mean, madness. Dude, Mika-san, I mean, I guess that was her goal. She's trying to kill them, but that was... She cut through, like, Reiner's arm? Or his hand? And she did get part of, Bertolt's throat. Oh my god, that was savage, man. That was difficult, man. That was really difficult because you can see how badly Reiner's struggling. All that pressure, I suppose, got to him. And he cracked. He slipped up. You know, Bertolt didn't know. Like, he's standing in the background just shocked at, you know, Reiner just openly telling Eren. But yeah, that was sad, man. Ah, man. So... So the Armored and the Colossal, they finally made an appearance. You know, it's been a long time, long absence, but here they are. Crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff. But you know, before I really get into it, the first thing they do is each one of them grabbed the Titan Shifters. One had Ymir and one had Eren. So, you know, it's really clear at this point the objective or the mission is to extract them, you know, get them out of here, take them back. So, you know, before that big, you know, cliffhanger moment, that, you know, big moment of Eren kind of transforming, and it kind of sets up, I'm guessing, a big fight for the next episode. Before that moment, you know, those flashes of them, it got to me, man. It got me again. It's quite emotional, actually. Just, you know, the flashes of them and, like, their friendship from the beginning. You know, coming up, training together. All of this is running through Eren's mind right now. It got to him as well, you know. He was quite emotional. He looked up to them, especially Reiner. He learned from them. He just, you know, he really respected them. So to him, this is the ultimate betrayal, right? You can see in the final shot how much this hurts, you know. And, you know, Eren has a big heart, but his sense of morality is set in stone, you know? So Eren's reaction there at the end, it's to be expected, right? That's just how Eren is. Of course, my take on it is going to be a little bit different. Now, the big moment, the big twist, the identities being confirmed, you know, of the Armored and the Colossal, that didn't come as a shock to me. So that aspect of this big twist, you know, it didn't really shock me, right? It just simply had to be these two. I've had my eye on Reiner for some time now, you know, really suspicious stuff going on. And episode 4, just a, you know, couple episodes ago, for me, that solidified Bertolt as the Colossal. And, you know, I mentioned this before, but that is something that I should have picked up a long time ago, actually. So that aspect didn't shock me, you know, the identities being confirmed. But the other aspect of this really did shock me. You know, it caught me. It really caught me off guard. The manner of the delivery. You know, the manner of confirmation. Perhaps the most nonchalant, major bombshell moment I've seen in any show. You know, let alone Attack on Titan. Oh my god. You know, I've been thinking of how they would do this. You know, the big moment for some time now, because it has to happen, right? So I thought it's gonna be something grand. You know. But it was quite the opposite, actually, and I liked it. I really liked it because, you know, that takes balls, man. To pull that off, it takes balls. That's not an easy choice to make there. The easier choice is, of course, to, you know, go and do that grand, big moment. But this is something different, man. I like it. I like it. It's crazy, though, man, because, you know, the armor and the Colossal are basically looked at as the main reason this whole problem even started, you know, because going back to episode 1, the Colossal kicked in that gate, and the Armored came in and, you know, broke through the other gate, the second gate, the inner gate. To finally have these characters find out that these two monsters are their comrades, you know, they've been here the whole time, and it's quite the moment, man. But again, you know, it's not an absolute shock for them because, of course, there is that flashback, and I feel like the whole point of this kind of delivery is to baffle, to put the audience in a state of disbelief, you know, to do a double take, to do a triple take, you know, and there's no background score, so it makes it even more jarring. I would actually love to check out some reactions to this, especially reactions of people that had no clue or just didn't figure out that it's going to be Reiner and Bertolt. I feel like I might see that in those reactions, you know, that state of disbelief, people just being baffled, and just, you know, just really confused. And I believe that was the goal here, right? So much to talk about. So for now, let's just stick on it. You know, the major component of this episode, the catalyst, the spark, you know, for this monumental shift that happens, right? Because it's a game changer. This is one of those moments that changes things dramatically, right? It's kind of like the point of no return, you know, for these characters on either side, for now at least. And it all comes down to Reiner's complete mental breakdown. Like this, you know, this was it. And it was kind of clear in this episode that the pressure of his duality, you know, finally broke him. There's only so much the mind can take before cracking, right? Especially because Reiner really embraced the soldier aspect. He really, you know, really put himself out there. You know, he cared for his comrades. He helped them. He put his life on the line for them plenty of times. You know, I just saw it a few episodes ago. So he really, you know, he really got tangled up in all that. But you see, Bertolt and Annie, they stayed out of that limelight. You know, they didn't embrace it like Reiner embraced it. You know, so they kept a low profile. Neither one of those brought attention to themselves. You know, both of them have been like the quiet ones, right? And on top of that, it looks like all of this took place over the span of like a day. Because, you know, they arrived at Utgard Castle. They tried to get some sleep, but they got attacked in the middle of the night. And by the time it was sunrise, you know, Ymir jumped off. And then that fight happened and the scouts showed up. You know, so there's not a lot of sleep going on here. There's not a lot of rest. And I'm going to treat Reiner and Bertolt's situation just like I treated Annie's situation. I just don't know enough. I just don't have enough information. I don't know enough to judge them. Again, you know, I can really apply a lot of the things from Annie to Bertolt and Reiner. But the one thing I know for sure is the one thing they really, you know, long for, the hometown. And in this episode, Eren reminded them of this hometown. You know, he said something about them being driven so far from it. You know, that got a reaction out of Bertolt and Reiner as well. Bit of an emotional reaction, actually. You know, Bertolt, you can see in his face, he's trying to, you know, calm Reiner down. He's trying to reassure him. And this is something that I've known for some time now, going back to the lake episode. Sorry, not the lake episode, the scene at the lake. You know, that infamous scene now. That's how I originally found out about their plans and their goals. Then at Utgard Castle, as they're both trying to hold off the Titan, they've got the pitchfork, you know. They're both kind of, you know, promising each other and reassuring each other that they'll get back to their hometown. So, you know, this is something they long for. And I'm really starting to get the feeling that this is not something they left by choice. And, you know, just like Annie, the main question here becomes of choice. Did they have any say in this in terms of getting these abilities? I mean, if you really look at it, they're child soldiers. They, you know, taken at a young age, trained and given these abilities, these monstrous abilities, you know, in someone's army, basically, right? They are at someone else's disposal to carry out these missions. Going back to episode 1, 2, and 3, you know, that whole, you know, period of time, they were kids, you know, and they were kicking in holes and bringing in all of these other Titans from outside. Imagine what that does to someone's head, man, to know that you're responsible for doing that and for causing so much death. Just like Annie, I don't think that Bertolt and Reiner, as individuals, are just out to get humanity, you know, out to exterminate humanity. It's much bigger than that. There's much larger things at play. Again, you know, like I said, these are effectively child soldiers, basically. You know, Bertolt's basically like in a state of panic. He is rattled by Reiner's behavior. You know, he tries to remind him that, you know, they're so close now. You know, their final goal is nothing in comparison to what they've been through. You know, their final objective, their mission. And again, you know, it appears that their mission is to take Eren back, just like Annie was trying to do in season 1. And also a new addition, Ymir, because they just recently found out about Ymir being a shifter, so she kind of gets, you know, added to the plans. I think the real scumbags in this situation are the ones that put these children in this position. You know, the people behind all of this. Those are the ones I really put the blame on, to be honest. But getting back to Reiner, he also said now there is no need for this anymore. You know, that basically confirms that at some point the mission changed, right? And of course, it's clear that the mission changed the moment they found out about Eren and his ability, or that he is also a Titan shifter. You know, as all this is going on, you know, Reiner's outburst and him not even realizing that he's just straight out laying out all the plans. Eren excuses all this behavior. He tries to give him, you know, a pass for this behavior, and he, you know, based on the day they've had, right? He's just trying to, you know, tell him, oh, you're just being a little bit crazy, you know, you've had a crazy day, it's okay, let's go. He's not trying to make a big deal about it, right? He's trying to just brush it off as, oh, you're just tired. I think just like with Annie, Eren hoped right till the end that maybe, just maybe, he could get Reiner to, you know, he could reel him back in, or just hoping that maybe there is a chance that none of this is true. You know, even in the flashback, he found it really difficult to believe any of this. Just, you know, just like the Annie flashback, he found it difficult. But, you know, the big switch in Reiner's demeanor and his thought process happens after Eren basically, you know, nervously joked about, you know, it's like, oh, even if you are, you know, this, even if you are the armor and you're dead set on, you know, ensuring the end of humanity, did you think I would just come along, you know, if you asked nicely, you know? And then at that moment, you see Reiner kind of snap out of it. He realizes what he's done now, you know, that he's kind of just said everything. He's laid it all out in the open, and you can just see it in his face. It's just, you know, this defeated look, man, the stress in his face, the delirium. He certainly felt like it was a point of no return, you know, that this is the major turning point. And that scene, man, that was difficult. That was really difficult for me. As you guys know, you know, I've been a big fan of Reiner for a long time now. So that scene, to see him in that state, and, you know, he blames this change on this unexpected, extended stay inside, you know, as a soldier. You know, he believes that he's gone soft being around these people for too long. And at the end of that moment, you know, Bertolt starts yelling. He's like, are we doing it now? right here. Oh my god, amazing scene, man. At this moment, the score finally kicks in, you know, and makes, you know, and it makes for an amazing scene. One of the best scenes of the whole show. One of the biggest, you know, moments of the whole show, actually. You know, to finally see them in the flesh, right, transform into the armor and the colossal. Big moment for the characters of this show, right? You know, but jumping back a bit, before they actually became the armor and the colossal, Mikasa jumped in, right? She's ready. You can see she knew. There's a shot of Armin kind of calling them over, and you see Mikasa, the look in her face. The moment it became clear, 100% clear that this is it. They are the armor and the colossal, and they're about to transform. Wow, she came in, and that actually rattled me. She nearly decapitated Bertolt, and she jammed the blade into Reiner's hand, and that's only because he put his hand up to, protect his face, and he lost his other arm. So that moment really, it kind of shook me, man. Now, I don't know anyone's, stance on Reiner and Bertolt. All I know is that I did not want them to die in that moment. That's why, there's such a reaction to Mikasa just nearly killing them. That being said, I think she hesitated a bit, especially as she's about to stab Bertolt. I think she could have definitely done it, but she hesitated a bit. But thinking back to it, someone of Mikasa's skill probably should have killed them both, right? After having that jump start on them. Man, that shot of Bertolt, eyes full of tears, just fearful for his life in that moment. See, that didn't look like a person that is this, evil person that is out to, just ensure the end of humanity. I just don't see it. I don't buy it that either one of these guys actually wants to do this. Alongside Ymir's backstory, this is another one I really need. Annie's backstory as well. All of these need filling. There's like a gap that explains all of this. It's a strange one because yes, their actions cause a lot of death, man. So much death and misery. And I'm not excusing that, yes, their actions led to that. The thing I am questioning though is the state of mind at that age, right? 5 years ago, man, just now, I thought of like, imagine like little kids, Aaron's age, having to like cut themselves or like inflict damage upon themselves so they can turn into the armor in the colossal. Let me give you an example of this. It's not quite on the same scale, but like Jaime Lannister, right? Game of Thrones. Jaime Lannister is one of my favorite characters, the whole show, right? One of my top 3. But there's still more than enough people, a lot of people actually, that hate Jaime Lannister, even now. Because they simply cannot forgive what happened in the first episode of that show, right? To them, that was it. That's all it took. And since then, it's like a point of no return for them. But later on, throughout the 7 seasons, you see that he's not a bad person. Yeah, it's entirely possible that a lot of people probably hated Reiner and Bertolt for doing this, and just like Eren, they considered them traitors. So that's my stance on it. The whole, Reiner, Bertolt, Annie situation. I don't hate them. I cannot hate them because I just don't have enough information. There's evil people pulling the strings behind the scenes. Those are the ones that should get the hate. So right from the beginning, there's this dark and moody tone. It's overcast, cloudy, the rain's about to come in. So yeah, right from the beginning, there's this really ominous tone about the episode. And pretty early on, I kind of get my confirmation that Ymir didn't die. Thankfully, she just kind of blacked out after, taking a beating, basically. I took a bad beating, but she is alive, so I'm super happy about that. Because there's so much more I need to know. So Krista's right there, she's pleading Ymir's case to Hanji. She probably just hid this to protect herself. And that's a good point. She, it is clear that Ymir kept this to herself to stay out of the limelight. Just like Eren, now Ymir has become a person of interest. So much so that she got grabbed right at the end by the Colossal. So the moment she showed her ability, the moment she showed that she's a Titan shifter, that changed a lot of things. She's in the limelight. and it's clear that that's the one thing she's trying to avoid this whole time, and she's done a good job of it, keeping on the down low and keeping it a secret. But in the end, something finally forced her hand, and Krista, basically, trying to protect Krista. Speaking of Krista, Hanji said her full official name, Historia Rice. So Rice is the name of this noble family she comes from, or kind of rejected by, actually. For a second I thought maybe she might have like a Game of Thrones style bastard last name, Historia Snow or something, but she has the name. And I loved Hanji's welcome to Historia, because that was basically all of us, it's like all of us also getting to meet her for the first time, the real Historia, full name out in the open and everything now. And perhaps a different and changed Historia after that night at Utgard Castle. The real Historia, right? Because up until this point, she's been hiding it. She's been hiding everything about her. Now she's open. It's all in the open, right? And also, I love the fact that Hanji put her hand on Historia's shoulder, kind of to reassure her that she's not going to be treated like an outsider. She's not going to be picked on or anything because of her lineage or her family name. It's basically kind of like, this is Historia's family now. These are the people she cares for, and these are the people that care for her, right? And accept her for who she is. And moving on, one more thing. Hannes finally confirms it to them that there simply is no hole. Like, they've made sure there simply is no hole. So it's cool that these characters finally know this. Because I've known for some time now, it's been clear that the Beast Titan did something, right? To turn all of them into like a new pack of Titans. But the exciting thing now is that characters like Hanji and Armin know this. Now they're going to start, the gears are going to start to spin. Now they're going to start thinking of the possibilities. And you can see, even as Hannes is explaining this, you can see Hanji's looking at the floor, kind of puzzled about all of this. And then later on, Armin starts thinking about it too as he's pacing. He's like, how come all this activity after 5 years, right? I still believe this is because of the absence of the Armored and the Colossal, who ironically show up later on in this episode. I think it's because of their absence for, these 5 years. And I've maintained for some time now that this is just another strategy to get more Titans on the inside. And this Beast Titan shows up, right, to do this. Okay, so if you enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up. It takes a second. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys thought. A huge thank you to all amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sticking around. And a reminder to anyone else, if you would like to see the full episode reaction to this, head on over to Patreon. I have it up there for patrons. It simply has to be cut down to 10 minutes for YouTube. Rules are rules. If you go over 10 minutes, they just block it. So if that's something you're interested in, check out my Patreon. There's full episode reactions to all episodes before this. So yeah, check it out. You'll get early access and full length, and you'll be supporting me. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. Take it easy.